Hello, this is Katrina Hartsock, and today my daughter Kiara is joining me. Kiara is in third grade at Regina Caeli, and we just wanted to demonstrate for you a retelling. Today we did a retelling for her rosary notebook, which is done all through the year in third grade. And today we're working on the fourth sorrowful mystery. So we're going to demonstrate this for you. You're going to notice some of the priorities in the retelling. For example, I'm going to read the story for you so that you can hear the level of difficulty and the length of the retelling, so you know what she's basing her retelling on. And then I'm going to be sure not to interrupt her when she's in mid-sentence, because there's a lot going on mentally when a child is retelling. They have to think of the correct words, they have to remember the details, and they have to remember the sequence. So I'm going to just listen and write it down. But as I'm writing down her words, I'm going to correct them to make them correct spelling, correct sentence construction, complete sentences, so no run-on sentences. And that way, at the end, I can read her retelling back to her. You'll also notice that if there is anything that is out of sequence or she needs help, then I'm going to prompt her to put things back in sequence. And I'll also allow her to use the picture that is in the book. We are using the Golden Children's Bible for these retellings. It's the same as in the Regina Caeli curriculum. And so she has a picture that can be helpful in doing the retelling. So we want this to be a gentle and beautiful process and a relationship building process as well. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to talk about the fourth sorrowful mystery, the carrying of the cross. They took Jesus and led him away, and he, bearing his cross, went forth to a place called the place of a skull, which is called in Hebrew Golgotha. And as they led him along, they laid hold on one, Simon, a Cyrenian, coming from the country. Simon was from a place called Cyrene, so they called him a Cyrenian. They laid the cross on Simon that he might carry it behind Jesus. And there followed him a great group of people and of women, bewailing him and lamenting him. But Jesus turned to them and said, "Daughters of Jerusalem, weep not for me, but weep for yourselves and your children. For the days are coming in which people shall say to the mountains, 'Fall on us,' and to the hills, 'Cover us.'" You might say, "Hide us," to the hills. There were also two other criminals led out with him to be put to death. And when they had come to the place, which is called the skull, or Golgotha, they crucified him there with the two criminals, one on the right hand, the other on the left. Then Jesus said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." And that's where we're going to stop, because today we're only focusing on the carrying of the cross. So I'm going to give you this picture so that you can look at it. You can look at the picture in the book and just take a moment to think about 3 things you want to tell me from this, about 3 sentences that you want to tell me about this story, Kiara, while I write the title here. While she's thinking about it, I'll just show you that I'm using a composition notebook that just has these lines, and this is exactly what's on the supply list at Regina Caeli, so that we can write the lines here that she tells me, but of course with correct sentence construction, correct punctuation. And then it has these spaces for her to illustrate the story as well. That illustration is very important. So it's not just for children who like to draw or color. It's actually to help the child to build their imagination, to build the correct image in their imagination of the story for the purpose of remembering it. Also, when they draw a picture, they work out further details in imagining and remembering the story. And of course, these are important. These are Bible stories. So it's important that they go into the imagination truthfully and fully. And that is really the benefit of the drawing of the picture. So do always encourage your child to do that. All right. So the fourth sorrowful mystery, the carrying of the cross.
When they took Jesus to be crucified, they saw a man named Simon. Was that his name, Mommy?
Simon, yes, Simon.
And they told him to carry the cross behind Jesus. And they told him, and the place that Jesus was going to be crucified was the skull. it's a place called a skull. There were two robbers that were going to be crucified with Jesus. One on his right, one on his left.
Okay. Was there something before that the women were wailing and lamenting him? Tell me about that. Before he got to the place of the skull to be crucified.
Jesus told the women, do not weep for me, but weep for yourself and your children.
Okay. I'm going to read it back to you because you'll notice I adjusted her sentences a little bit to combine some of the shorter sentences and to have just a more complete sentence construction. When they took Jesus to be crucified, they told a man named Simon to carry the cross with him. He was crucified with two robbers, one on his left and another on his right. The women were weeping, but Jesus told them to weep for themselves and for their children because of what would come. Very good. Now, if you wanted your child to do more writing on their own, you could then have your child copy those 3 sentences. So keeping it short also makes it good copy work. But again, you want to make sure that you are writing it with correct punctuation, correct capitalization, and correct sentence construction, so that then if your child does it as copy work, then they're copying it correctly. But that is not necessary. I just want to show you the flexibility that we have in the curriculum. So if you are not looking for your child to do more writing, then you can just simply have them move on with drawing their picture. So now we have this nice story in here. And the next thing Kiara is going to do is to illustrate the carrying of the cross at the top of her rosary notebook. And then when she goes into class on Thursday, she'll be able to share this with her classmates, which is one of the great joys of being together at Regina Caeli. Good job, Kiara. I love you.
Love you too.